What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Catch Me Off-Road YouTube channel. Today's video is just going to be a quick one. I wanted to do a quick walk around of the truck to show you all of the mods as they sit right now. I get this request a lot on Instagram and in the comments on some of my previous YouTube videos. People just asking to do a walk around of the truck, and I'm always adding stuff to it and swapping stuff around. So I figured, you know, every 6 months or a year or so, I'll try to do one of these videos, just a walk around. So this is a 2023 TRX. It is, the color is Hydro Blue, and obviously it's wrapped. I'm here at Blackout City Customs. My boy Mo. Alright guys, sorry, my video just got interrupted by Mo, who wanted to gift me with this cool Osmo stabilizer. Everyone's been complaining about the videos, saying they're too shaky. Steve and the boys in the chat know what's up. So shout out to Mo for giving this. We're gonna set it up real quick and we'll continue the video with the stabilizer. Alright, changing plans. Actually, the gimbal needs to be charged, so we're gonna skip it for now, but it'll be in the next video, I promise. And thanks to everyone who commented that I need better hardware for filming. Anyway, so we'll get back to what we were talking about. So the first thing you'll notice, obviously, is the wrap done by Ram Detroit. That's one of my newest mods, and you can see it's already pretty scratched up just because of how many times I've been off-roading on tight trails. Actually, let me see if I can get a good... There we go. That's a better angle right there. The nice thing about this wrap is you don't really notice the scratches if you stand back a little bit. It kind of blends in. All the scratches blend in, especially when it's in the shade like this, with all of the noise and other patterns and stuff going on in the background. But huge shout out to Ram Detroit for helping me out with this wrap, designing it for me and everything like that, with our Wendigo on there, our mascot for Midwest Off-Road Expeditions. And yeah, if you have any wrap work that you need done, solid colors or anything custom like this, it can be a vehicle, it can be a motorcycle, a boat, etc. They've done everything. They also do fleet vehicles, like if you have box trucks and things like that for your company, make sure to hit them up. They're here in Livonia, Michigan, really close to where we're at. So that's Ram Detroit. Next we'll move on to the wheels, actually. So the wheels I have on here are, this is probably the third TRX I put these wheels on. I've just kind of been recycling them and swapping out tires. Atturo is what I usually run. Atturo Trailblade ATS is what's on here right now. These are 37 by 13.5 R18s. I'll show you right here for proof. And the wheels are Icon Rebound 18 by 9s in a 0 millimeter offset, I believe. And this setup right now fits perfectly. If you level the truck with springs, which I'll show you in just a second, you should be great. You don't have to worry about rubbing or anything like that. If you do want to run on a stock wheel, the same size tires, it's even better. You have even less issues, or you have a lot more clearance. So yeah, for those asking about running 37s on stock wheels or on aftermarket wheels, I wouldn't go much past a 0 offset. If you start getting more into the negative offsets, a minus 18 or minus 44 or things like that, yeah, they look cool. They have some poke on the wheel, but you'll also run into rubbing right in here, which you don't really have that issue with these. So that's the wheel and tire setup. The green ring right there is just a piece of wrap that Ram Detroit did for me also. They printed off some extra of the fluorescent yellow color or green color, and they added on my all 4 bead locks. Okay, next we'll talk about suspension. So I'm on stock shocks, and we do have the Eibach Pro lift springs, and that's front and rear. It's 4 springs, super easy to put on. And what they do is they lift the truck by about maybe 2.5 inches and the rear about 1.5 inches, somewhere around there. And it gives it a nice level stance. Let me back up a little bit. Obviously I have stuff in the bed, which we'll talk about in a second, and it weighs it down a little bit, but when you have it unloaded and just kind of stock setup, it rides really smoothly, and it's pretty level. Okay, next we can talk about the front bumper. So this is an ADD Bomber front bumper. I've had the Pro bolt-ons from ADD as well in the past. Great bumpers. I just wanted to change up the look a little bit. I kind of like the more factory style on this truck. And I have 3 Baja Designs LP6 lights. They're just the white ones with the driving combo lights. So you can see the lenses, like these bottom 2 lenses right here have lines in them. They're called a driving combo. They give you kind of a nice, these give you a nice scatter for, you know, kind of a wider range. And then these are more spotlights for far away type stuff. They do have amber backlights that are wired up to one of my auxiliary switches, I think number 3. And it gives it a nice amber look that matches the 3 in the hood right here. And then on the sides here, I have Tyri lights. These are the same lights a lot of us run as chase lights as well. And they're really bright, and I have them wired up to my factory fog lights location. So using the button inside, we'll turn on these. And then when you turn the wheels on the TRX, it also engages the light that's closest to the direction you're turning. So if you turn left, this left one will come on. If you turn right, the right one will come on. On the front, I also do have tint on the front headlights. This is actually here at Blackout City Customs. I had it done, and it's I'm trying to remember the name. It's like photochromic, I think. Basically, when you are in the sun and direct sunlight, like right now, it's tinted, and then at nighttime it turns clear. I found that it looks great when it's brand new, but after about a year or so, it starts to, Mo was telling me also, it starts to lose its effect a little bit. I think these films are really new to the market, so they haven't quite perfected them yet, but it's still cool nonetheless, and it's a PPF film, so it does protect your headlights from scratches and things like that. Next, moving on to the hood, you see right here I have some massive pillar pod lights. These are SDHQ brackets with Tyri 1313 lights. I believe they're called 1313s, and they are super bright. The 2 of these pillar pods are even brighter than the 3 Baja Designs lights. When I shine them up against a wall, something like that, they're crazy bright. These are a spot pattern, and I have them aimed kind of where they throw light about maybe 50 or 60 feet ahead of me, kind of on the road. I know a lot of people use these pillars as ditch lights. They'll aim them outwards and down at the ditches, but I find that my floodlights on the front, my driving lights up there, as well as the yellow ambers, they kind of do a great job of lighting up both sides of the road, and so I use these for the further distance type stuff. The windshield and front windows are tinted. I think I have 50% on the front done here at Blackout City Customs, and about either 15 or 20% tint on the 2 front windows right here. I think it looks, it matches the back factory tint, and it gives it a nice overall clean appearance. Coming around to the other side of the truck, we do have Mopar power running boards. You can see the hydro blue color, that's the original color of the truck, and then the running boards are powered. These are a really nice option to have especially for off-roading, where you don't have to worry about dragging anything. And they've survived 2 years of off-roading, so I'm really happy with them. Coming to the back of the truck, actually first let's talk about exhaust. So this one has an AWE 0FG exhaust system on it, and it's rowdy. It's a really nice system. Shout out to AWE for the support for all of our videos. We've done their exhaust systems on many of our builds here, and they're the best in the business. All right, up here in the bed, we do have a Mopar spare tire holder, and that's a factory wheel on there, along with an Atturo 37 by 13.5 by R18 Trailblade Boss tire. So it doesn't match the tread pattern of these, but it is the same size in case it's needed, and I have a few of those as spares. We have a little toolbox strapped down back here. This is just something from Amazon that I put in when I'm going camping or off-roading or whatever, and it just kind of sits in there. Over here, the biggest addition that you see is the Openroad 4-wheel drive bed rack, as well as the rooftop tent and the 270 awning, and I'll talk about those real quick. So the bed rack is a universal bed rack that can fit on a variety of different vehicles. It can fit on, Fords, Ram, Toyota, Chevys, whatever. And it has adjustable height and adjustable width and adjustable length. So everything on it's modular. You can add accessories onto it, like on the rails right here. It has hooks for hanging stuff or mounting stuff. You can see I've mounted my Tyri rear amber lights as well onto there using some homemade brackets. They work pretty well. I just need to run the wires down here eventually. And then the rooftop rack is great for hauling kayaks, bikes, tools, etc. And then also for rooftop tent setups like I have. This is the soft RTT, and it folds out this way. I think you've seen it in some of my previous videos if you've been a subscriber on the channel. And really nice tent, as well as the 270-degree awning right here. This unzips and it folds outwards and goes completely around to the other side of the vehicle, and it completely gives you shade on the back. And it also includes side walls. Basically, you can zip on these side panels to enclose the back, and it's almost like having a second tent on the ground back here. So it's great for camping, overlanding, stuff like that. Next mod is the third brake light, which I now realize it's kind of hard to see here, but it's a bulletproof diesel. It's basically a spacer. You'll see the spacer plate right here. that sits behind the third brake light, and it has an NMO mount on the top of it for our radio. And I'll show you what the radio looks like inside next. So in the back seat here, under my back seat, I have the radio kind of velcroed in place right here, and the antenna comes in from the back window there, or from above the headliner, runs along the seat pillar, down under here, and pops out under my seat. And the antenna comes from there, and then it takes power and ground, as well as the signal, like the faceplate, which is up in the front of the truck, and I'll show you that. Here's some little MOLLE pouches. These ones are Velcro, and they're kind of old and used, but these are cool little things to hang accessories on and stuff like that. So I got some MOLLE pouches in there. And in the front of the truck, we have the ICOM radio right here, and it is wired in to that. This is just the faceplate and the rest of the radio you just saw. And then the handheld mic plugs into the side right here, and I have a little speaker right at the top, just to amplify the sound a little bit. We also have a this whole mount right here is made by what's the company? Bullet Point Industries, I believe. And you can add accessories to it. Mine has the speaker as well as another ball right here that I use for my nav screen. I'm not going to mount my nav on here just because it takes a second, but I wanted to show you what it looks like. It's basically an iPad mini. I think it's a 5th or 6th gen, I can't remember. And it has a dual GPS puck velcroed to the backside of it. And that gives it a much higher signal rate when it's trying to connect to GPS. So it shows you on the screen on the nav app as moving much quicker and much more fluid-like. It's smooth compared to the 1 second update rate of the factory GPS in this thing. And that kind of just sits right here. We'll tighten it down right there, and it sits above my AC vent basically, and I'm able to see where I'm going off-road. And that kind of wraps up the mods. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments. We figured we'd also do a quick cold start. Well, not a cold start, a warm start for you. Go ahead, Mo, hit it. That's the AWE exhaust. Like I said, it sounds pretty rowdy, and it makes the truck sound the part that it looks. So, all right, guys, hit me up in the comments if you have any questions. Sorry for the longer than expected video, and hope you enjoyed it. Catch you off-road.